Diane Robbins,
Oh, sorry.
Got it.
David Boaz,
Here.
Patricia Caputo,
Here.
I'm here, Stuart,
Yeah.
Ed Grossman,
Here.
and David Israel.
Here,
We have two guests, Bobby Levin, Ruth Reese, and Kelly Jensen is in the room.
here via Zoom. Thank you for the credentials.
Okay, please review the minutes. If there's, give you 60 seconds. If there's any corrections to the minutes, please let me know. If not, I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented by our recording secretary. Okay, Stuart.
Yeah.
Stuart makes a motion to accept the minutes. Who's the second?
I do.
Seconded by Ed Grossman. Okay. I'm gonna skip down to nominations committee, Bobby, so we can get you out of the way, because it's kind of early.
You got it. I just wanted to bring everybody's attention to the dates that we're working. We're going to follow these dates. Depending on the number of people who we have running for office, will determine how I run the candidates forum. If we don't have a huge slate of office of people running, I'm not going to bring somebody in from the county to set up the program. We'll do it ourselves. These are the dates that we will follow. The installation of offices will take place on March 10th. I reserve clubhouse room C between 2 and 4. We will have an installation of offices, a ceremony, and then I'm going to bring in cold platters of food, probably from Publix, just so everybody can have a nibble.
All right, in room C.
See.
Now, you know there's no food allowed in room C. You straightened that out? Okay, all right.
The date is March 10th.
That's March 10th for the installation, so it has to be within 2 weeks of the election. Okay, that's all I have. Then the next page is all the information that I have on the computer on who is now an officer and a board member, who will be going out, who will be coming in. As the time for the election comes closer, I will send a letter out to each individual reminding them that their term of office is ending or their term of office is continuing. That's the best I can do.
Makes it nice and clear, Bobby. Thank you.
Ruth, when do you think we should put this in the paper? When do we start
I'm
advertising?
gonna start doing it in November.
Did that work through?
Yeah.
Is that what was normally
The
done?
first announcement in December quarter, which means I need to get it.
In November? November, okay, all right.
Ruth and I are on working together. We'll get everything. We'll get it in for you. There we go.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Bobby. Good job. I'm gonna skip around. We have a couple of things that, Donald is bringing to us. The 2 paving jobs.
Want to go to that?
Yeah, let's do the paving jobs first, because those went to bridge and infrastructure.
All right, guys, I'm looking at, in your package, 2 paving repair proposals. We split it up, one on the east side of the property, one on the west side. I spared you the, photo album. There's a, for both of them, there are, the sites are marked on our map, and price for proposal number 1 is $29,500. which comes to $6.41 a square foot. And the second one is for $33,235, and that comes to $6.27 a square foot. Why is it different? Because the,
Donald,
yes, sir.
you're very garbled. Is this about air conditioning?
No, this is about paving, Dave.
Huh?
This is about paving repairs.
Okay, I can't understand you. Some kind of repair.
Paving, potholes.
Potholes, oh, okay.
All right.
I gotcha.
So, the question came up at, last week's bid and infrastructure committee, why are the square footage prices different? Basically, when the estimator does the job, he uses today's price on material. That's all it is, basically like the gas pump. These are, pretty self-explanatory, but I'm happy to answer any questions. Nobody?
We already went over it. Meeting.
Not all of us were here. All right, would somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept.
I'll second. Has to be done.
Oh, we're gonna do both of them at one motion.
Right.
Proposals for the, paving vote.
Okay.
So how do you want to word it?
I'm gonna do it right now. To accept bids from Atlantic Southern
That's in,
for $29,500 and second repair for $33,235 per square foot.
Which line is that coming from?
isn't that from the Eastern West?
That's repairs and maintenance, Dave,
Okay,
and we're online. We're good.
fair enough.
Okay, so the motion was made by Patricia, seconded by Stuart. Ed Grossman.
I have a comment for discussion.
Yeah, we're in discussion, absolutely.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Yes, right.
I think we discussed this earlier, we're talking over 50,000 on that. At what point are we gonna get an engineer here to tell us we're just wasting our money because we'll have to redo it? The money is worth less every day, and we know we're gonna have to redo it sometime.
I
Let's start painting each one a different color so we could play Potsy. All we're doing is throwing money out at one point.
Mr. Brown, Mr. Brown,
My question is, when are you gonna retain someone to take a look at C and give us the best bid? Now, if I recall, that we had Simmons and White, but what we're missing is, I think, what the other outfit did, which took core samples, to give you a better picture of where we're going. So maybe we should not turn this down now, but we should put on the agenda to have that work done before we spend another $100,000.
I think it should go in the 24 budget, a line item for engineering for the road study.
Everything that has to do with the roads, it's fully funded in our reserves account. Because it's part of doing the roads, it's not a separate expense, it's definitely connected to the road, so the money is there.
I'm not sure.
And how much we'll do the same thing, we'll get bids from different engineers.
all right, so let me try to
So I
put
mean.
it on the right, before this goes into the whole thing. Dave, what Mr. Grossman is basically a twofold question. It's like we kind of talked about it yesterday as well. Question number one is, how much are we spending year on year on repairs? And at what point does it not make sense to keep patching and do the roads? That's a business decision, and we can track what we spend every year. I can tell you we spend more this year than we did last year. Chris could crank out a report for you pretty quick.
It's very easy it's in the reports what we're spending.
Absolutely. The second part of his question is, should we retain an engineer to do a survey on the road, similar to the one that Ed did several years ago when he contracted with Federal Engineering, which, by the way, nothing's changed. It's the same road and the same engineers.
Well, Federal is the one, if I'm not mistaken, who took the course in.
They did, yes.
Okay, and they took a limited amount of force samples. If we go back, that's quite a few years ago. And when you say, what are we spending? We're spending more for the same work because everything else is going up.
Sure.
What's not going up is, at this point, the earnings on what we're sitting with. And.
All right, well, let me just interject right there, Ed, because it's gonna go in a lot of different directions. Fausto makes a good suggestion. Why don't we do this? Number one, find out how much the engineer is gonna charge. Second thing is, put it as a proposed line in the budget, which you're getting ready to put together right now.
The proposed line is, and let me make it clear, the money is in the reserve account. Okay, so it's already in the budget. What I'd like to do is after this, I'd like to make a proposal to put it in as a motion to be done, because we talk about it, and nothing happens.
Is this to do an engineer?
I'm not gonna vote for this because you obviously did your homework.
Dave has a question. Go ahead.
Ed, is this to do an engineering study of the roads?
Yes,
Yeah,
Jesus, how long ago did we do that?
3 years ago.
Yeah, and what is the driving vectors that call for this at this time?
None that I can see,
A
Dave.
few potholes?
Well,
No,
the answer to that is you can't
No.
necessarily see it because.
Spending money on engineers is nice, but is it necessary?
And then I'm gonna make a proposal.
Okay, so Ed's gonna make a proposal in new business and we'll deal with that then. Meantime, let's get back to these two proposals.
okay. We have a motion on the table to accept bids from Atlantic Southern for two paving jobs, one for $29,500, the other for $33,235. Motion was made by Patricia, seconded by Stewart. David,
Is this to patch the potholes?
yes,
yeah, Patrick.
Fair
Routine
enough.
repairs.
okay. David Bowen,
Yes.
thank you. David Israel,
Yes,
Ed Grossman,
Yes.
Dominic is out. Stewart,
Yes.
yes, Patricia,
Yes.
Joanne Robinson.
Yes.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 yeses, 0 no, passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This work will likely happen, one part will be in September and the other will be in October. November will be Walklands. You don't wanna close the whole damn village off.
No.
Right?
No,
Alright, next on the hit list is,
security.
the security camera?
Yeah.
Alright.
One, two, yeah.
All right, so we have 3 non-functional security cameras at the guardhouses. David asked a very good question when I came to visit him about this. Donald, how do you know these things are really broke? And I really don't know that they're really broke, because what do I know about cameras? Dave, I got Hen to take a look at it. He assures me that the units are broke. He originally thought it might be a wiring problem, but it's not the problem. It's just no power. So these are basically replacement for 3 broken cameras. The proposal is from Access Masters, $13,984. What's different about these cameras? Besides the fact that they work, they are license plate recognition similar to our flock cameras, and they communicate with ABDI. Apparently, Access Masters works with ABDI, and they make that marriage work. There might be some minor coding charges on the ABDI end once they're installed. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what's good about these cameras. This is not my thing.
Not your
Uh,
forte.
Not my forte.
Well,
I toilet bowls. So this is what I got. Access Masters 13,984. For discussion, somebody wanna make a motion?
I'll make a motion to
Whoa,
accept,
whoa, I got a question.
what's the question?
Yeah,
All right. You read the specifications. You would think these cameras descended full-blown from the brain of Cecil B. DeMille. They're the greatest thing since sliced bread. And that's the same nonsense we heard about the current cameras.
Yeah.
And
What's the question?
I have yet to receive an informed decision as to what's wrong with the current cameras. And if you're going to tell me, if you're going to tell me that they've coincidentally died as this new diamond Google came over the transom, I'm going to have trouble believing that.
How long-
So I'm going to go back to my question, Donald. What's wrong with the current better than sliced bread cameras that we have now? Is it necessary every time a wonderful new Google comes through the door that we jump for it?
all right, I have two answers, Dave. Answer number one is the current cameras are dead. They don't work. They don't even power up.
And when did that coincidentally occur?
Over the last 4 to 6 months,
Oh my God. And nobody said anything.
we made repairs, we kept them, of course they said something. I have documentation on every one of the decks. We got them fixed, they broke again. There was another issue going on that made us put some of these replacements in abeyance. And I'm gonna discuss that at the executive session. Bottom line is they're broke. Now, I think the other part of your question, Dave, is can we use a cheaper, less technologically complicated camera? I don't know. Frankly, when I heard that these things talk to ABDI and pump the license plate number right into the ABDI database, and I don't have to rely on George Colorado's eyesight,
That's a very nice feature.
I kind of dug that. So, and you know, we've had nothing but, no, there's a motion.
I didn't make a second on the motion.
You didn't make it first yet.
Yeah.
So-
You did.
That's what I got, Dave. You know my level of familiarity with technology, and this is what the vendor brought us.
And you talked to Ken Graff about this?
No,
No.
Okay, no big thing.
I did talk to Steve Henn.
Okay,
He did confirm that they're deader than Elvis. They cannot be fixed. It's not a wiring problem. It's not a power problem. It's the cameras themselves are burnt out.
all right.
David, do you wanna risk, somebody sneaking in again? That's what I'm concerned about after what happened here.
Okay.
I think we should replace those cameras. No, that's my opinion. I didn't talk up.
Well, I know,
That's my opinion.
I'm just saying,
I'm a little worried about that.
And the only other question I might bring up, instead of boring more holes under the road, can the data streams be transmitted by RF radio frequency?
I didn't ask that question, Dave. I don't even know if that's possible, but I think the original, the fiber that's already there is fairly new. So
Okay,
I don't see any wiring here. I think the components can be swapped out. That's it.
you're saying they can reuse the fiber optics that are there?
That's what Pipkin told me.
Okay, because I see in the proposal, more missile boring under the road.
Yeah, I see it. If it has to be, it has to be, Dave, but what's wrong with the fiber that's already under there?
Exactly, you disconnect it from the old camera and patch it to the new camera.
So there it is.
All right,
Is that what he said?
Yeah,
Okay. Also, I did not finish that.
please proceed.
well, I was trying to read, I was trying to read what I wrote as the motion. And I needed a first and a second so we could discuss it. Like after the first, we never got to a second, so we shouldn't be discussing.
Who
it.
made the motion?
You made the
I
motion.
didn't finish.
Okay,
I said that I want you, you said, hold on.
okay. All right.
You say the motion. Please.
So this is what I wrote. To replacement of cameras plus upgrade to better cameras by Access Masters in the amount of $13,984.
Wait a minute, what do you mean upgrade? It's totally different than.
The cameras that we
How
have
about
now
accept the proposal
as presented,
as presented?
Okay. All right.
will you make
Would
it?
it, would it be appropriate to put a not to exceed on the cost?
Yeah, it's right in front of us, $14,000.
Okay,
If it's more, I gotta bring it back.
Okay, I agree.
Okay, so I need a second on that motion.
Just one question.
I need a second on the motion before we can discuss.
I'll second it.
All right, good. All right, now you can discuss.
I haven't read the proposal. Because the cameras that you're recommending
Got it?
carry, warranty or guarantee?
3-year warranty.
3-year warranty and this particular vendor who's been with us a long time has never given us an issue with warranty or anything. They back up their work. That I can tell you.
Well, the answer you're telling me is they are warranty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Are they fully warranty for any period of time?
3 years. It's in the
3 years.
contract, it's in your
I
package.
said I didn't see it. If they
It's
are,
pretty fine print. I got you.
That's fine.
Anybody else, guys?
No.
Yeah.
Older or
On page 3, item number 7, it says to provide 3-year warranty
No, come
on
on.
the cameras and NVR and 1 year on labor.
Kelly, I don't remember ever changing those cameras and I'm here nearly 10, well, I mean, I've been paying attention for about 7, so.
I didn't realize we had that license.
I mean, they,
There will be,
and they are exposed to weather.
there will be on you.
Now, I have a question on the contract. Okay, number 7 says to provide 3-year warranty on the cameras and NVR and 1 year for parts and labor. And you go down about 3 inches and it says 1 year parts and labor warranty included. So which one is it? Is it 3 years or 1 year?
Having never had a problem with this vendor.
I'm just-
Anything,
I'm just saying, this
I
is
don't
a
know.
contract that contradicts within 1-2 inches, they contradict each other.
Well, so the 3 years might be on the camera,
Right.
and the 1 year might be on everything.
It says that, it says on the camera.
yeah. I see what you're saying about the,
It says 1 year parts, the camera is a part that they're installing. Can we get clarification? We can vote on it, but with a clarification, of course, does that work for everybody?
Yeah.
Does everybody see what I'm talking about?
No, I didn't see that, that's it.
Getting back to the labor
I'll
stuff,
send him an email now.
Okay.
labor is where you run into the boss. And, it sounds like it's 1 year labor, but limited on what is the labor is.
And I have a service contract on 20 washing machines.
A service contract is an additional cost.
And it's unlimited service calls and I only pay for parts, right? Here it sounds like not the same thing, right?
Just as the
Well, that's
clarification.
all I'm saying.
I'm just saying, if I can pick it up, somebody else might question that also.
All right, guys, any more
Okay.
questions about the,
Any more? Right,
Muffled James?
no, all right. David Israel,
yes,
Ed Grossman,
Yes.
Stuart Richland,
Yes.
I'm a yes. Patricia Caputo. Yeah. David Boaz,
Yeah.
Joanne Robinson.
Yes.
Okay, 3-6. Kevin to 0, passes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, last thing.
Last thing.
Our original air conditioning gear to the building, for the front half of the building has, given up the ghost. It cannot be repaired. So we need to get this straightened out before I have a stroke. I've got one proposal from John Jew, who works under another company's license. Scribble, scrabble, $18,000. I see 7.5 ton replacement and replacement of the air handling unit.
Donald,
Yeah,
Are you serious? Who says it can't be repaired?
Uh,
I saw another piece of paper where the same thing was gonna be fixed for under $100.
yeah, we had the thing taken apart the day before yesterday. And when we shot some R22, which by the way is,
1,200.
more expensive than gold per ounce.
Right?
It just leaked out the radiator fins. The radiator fins are rotted in 3 or 4 places, and to put coolant in, the next day the coolant will be gone.
It seems like it wasn't that long ago we replaced a major component of that system.
We did, and the reason we did, Dave, is because when that happened, we were minimum 6 months to get the part. Now it sounds like we're down to 3 months.
Oh, boy. Okay,
So we fixed it and we can't fix it anymore.
Also, they're doing the handler as well as the compressor.
Well, yeah,
so
it's a split system.
Yeah.
All right, Airco sent us a proposal this morning. Pretty much the same thing, replacement of the split system, air handler inside, condenser unit outside, 7.5 tons, $16,479.56. I will tell the committee that,
was that 16,000?
yes,
Gotcha.
so $1,500 less than John Jew, and I am expecting another proposal from Debonair. They couldn't get it into me fast enough. If it comes out to be if that gets back to me and it's significantly lower, I'm gonna bring you guys back here, but I really don't expect that to be the case. Notice, no, we need to vote on this before one of us has a stroke, you're in an unair
But
conditioned
you
room.
said that you're gonna get another bill.
And if it is significantly less,
You don't have all the proposals. How can you vote?
Thank you.
well, I have 2 proposals
Yeah, but that's
and an
not what we
emergency
do.
job. So I'm happy to bring the third, believe me, I'm not gonna throw it in the garbage when it gets here, but they couldn't get it to me in time. You want to postpone the vote? Postpone the vote?
John Jew scribbles a piece of paper, 18,000,000. I mean, you're pulling it out of the air.
Exactly, that tells me he doesn't want the job.
Okay.
Airco of Florida is who works on our systems regularly, and they gave us a proper proposal.
And how long will we have to wait?
He's saying maybe up to 3 months. And you'll notice that he can't even promise what brand. He basically, what's available is what we're gonna get, American Standard, Marine, York, or Titan.
Currently, you have no air conditioning up front?
No, 0, we're working on fans.
Okay,
But the handler has to.
But I just wanna let the committee know that I have another proposal coming, and if it turns out to be something we need to look at, I'll bring everybody back. Because I'm not gonna sign off on this until I get the third proposal. I wanna see it.
May I say something?
So,
Doesn't right now, we don't have the compressor and the handler they don't really go together. Is that correct? We have to get a handler and a compressor.
the new
that
split
aren't
system, it will be, they're both being replaced,
Okay, I just want
and
to
they both will match.
Yes, Ed,
Because otherwise we'll be the same vote.
In conjunction with what we were just discussing, we are all getting older and so is the equipment. Going back in time, those books used to capitalize items. Now, basically, everything is expense. Now, what number? I wouldn't say for $10, but from what I hear, you're going over 15,000 on a lot of stuff. And I think it would keep a better record for us. You wouldn't have to say, oh, that happened in 2012. And I think it would really reflect that, just like anything else, it's stuff that's getting worn out, and that we should have a better handle instead of saying, oh, I remember. And the impact wouldn't be terrifically tremendous compared to what we do, but it would certainly give us a better record of where we were and how much it cost and how we did what.
and the unit that's being replaced is originally installed when this building was put up. That's the original unit.
Listen, I'm only the original unit that I started, but I'm 84 years old, but everything here is getting older. So I just,
So what's your point?
I'm
So
making this
what's your
suggestion. I think it's a much better record of what's going on.
Okay.
Fausto?
Yes, sir.
I want to put something on the table,
Okay,
which Donald informed me of. Apparently, the county wants to dump maintenance responsibility for this chunk of acreage. I guess it's on the east border of our rear parking lot. I don't know how many acres are there. It looks on the map to be at least 3 or 4. And I don't know what the cost would be, but the question is, do the officers see any benefit in owning that chunk of ground? This is a little different from the Paulette Burdick proposal some years ago where the county would hold title. They made some absurd statement that they weren't allowed to sell land to anyone and that we would pay for everything. And believe me, there are a lot of costs, fencing, paving, security. So the question is there any benefit to us? Maybe as simple as controlling who our neighbors are gonna be in owning that chunk of ground. And maybe Donald has some more information.
David, not every officer has been informed of that information.
Dave, I was planning to give a report to the officers on this during my CAM report.
Okay,
Got it on a list. We're in the middle of.
On the,
it's just that, look, we've been given first dibs. And I don't think you want to delay one way or another in making a decision.
Okay.
All right?
I think what David said is very true.
And do me a favor. I
I
hear you, but we're in,
know.
I
No, he's ahead of the game.
we're in the middle of a motion for air conditioning.
Is that first?
To get that done, okay?
Yeah.
So my CAM report has a full report on what's going on, and then they can discuss.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
Okay.
So the motion is to replace AC unit, front office, compressor and air handler. Who wants to make the motion?
I do.
Okay, so,
I can see the sweat coming off the top of his head.
okay.
The idea is you can't buy a car for what you bought it for 20 years ago. You're not gonna buy this for what you bought 5 years ago. And then we certainly want to get a better unit than they put in the clubhouse. At least it's a known name and we have parts available, so we have to do it. Serious.
Okay.
It breaks down.
Before I ask for a second, can I put lowest bidder on here without putting a vendor in case you get the third one?
Echo Florida.
You wanna put air cover?
If this needs to be revisited, believe me, I'll be the first guy to take.
Easy enough to get any people to say yes or no. Quickly.
This doesn't
Okay, so
obligate you to anything. I'm waiting for the third.
I understand that, and I need a second on this motion.
I'll second.
Okay. Okay. All right, David Israel.
Can I say something?
Oh, are there any,
Can you say that we're voting on it today, but if
Yeah.
the third proposal
Don't
comes?
need to.
no,
You
no,
don't?
You know that's the way I operate.
Okay,
I would never want to pull that.
okay,
so at this point, we have 2 bids. If the
Okay.
third bid comes in, he said he would take
okay.
the lower bid. All right, so David,
Yes,
okay, yes. Grossman, hey,
Yes.
Grossman. Stewart,
Yes.
I'm a no. Patricia Caputo,
Yes.
David Boaz,
Yes.
Joanne Robinson,
Yes,
okay. 6-1,
My endocrine gland, thanks you.
okay. I'm a no for the simple reason that, one gives you a specific years of warranty, 10 years plus 3 years of labor,
Right.
and it makes it a train, which is the top of the line. The other, this company here says, well, whoever has a unit, So whether it's a cheap unit or a good unit, he's gonna install it regardless,
They,
whichever comes first.
I hear what you're
And
saying.
John Joe said 2 to 4 weeks, the other guy said 3 months.
First place, I have zero confidence in John Jew coming up with his training unit in 2 to 5 weeks. The other two vendors,
We'll see.
I would like to have it
Okay.
trained.
So what?
The other two vendors basically said, we'll do the best we can. You know, it's like that out there.
I don't think
This is a democracy. We vote, I vote on what
You voted no,
I vote for what I see.
and like I said, Debonair works for Eva and Dan, let's see what they come back with, but I gotta get something moving.
And myself personally, to go on the record, I have no confidence in Con Air. They were here, they
You mean
replaced
Airco?
the airco, right? They replaced a belt that made noise. They came in 3 times for an air conditioning. No, I don't wanna influence you. We were here. We had no air conditioning. The drain pipe was clogged. And they came 3 times before they actually cleared the pipe out. But you gotta go with what we got.
And your other vendor is the one that's in charge of the clubhouses.
I understand that. I understand.
Story, so.
Okay,
We'll do the best we can.
do you wanna finish your, cam report?
You wanna do my manager's report real
Sure.
quick? I'll keep it as quick as possible.
Okay.
First thing is, in addition to regular, paving repairs that go on pretty much every month now, we've started addressing the catch basins at different parts of Century Village. Bobby, in front of your house, there's a catch basin. If you hit it wrong, at the wrong speed, you become evil to evil. They sunk. So little by little, I've been looking at the worst ones and getting them, lifted. Tomorrow they'll be working in Wellington Circle, just so you know. There's 3 of them. Patricia, you need to know this because we may have to reroute the buses. But I don't wanna do anything immediately because I wanna see if they can work
The
it out
approximation when you're gonna be doing it.
tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Okay.
But let's let them set up and let's see if they're gonna have a problem. If they are, then we gotta talk about it. Anyway, that's next. All right,
Should I give them a heads up at least? I think so.
sure.
Possibly.
Absolutely.
Change the routes because the work being done.
Why not? All right, I got 2 bad boys I gotta talk about. The first is our Mr. Hollings, who had a court date. Just to remind everyone, Mr. Hollings is a convicted heroin dealer.
Oh,
He was sentenced to probation with the understanding that he could never set foot in Century Village ever again.
I want to see some.
Well, he went ahead and set foot because there's some people in Century Village that want heroin. So, he got caught, a Sharp Ride unit owner spotted him and they locked him up. He's been in jail for the last 6 months. He had a court date yesterday. He, refused a plea bargain and, so now he's at the mercy of the judge who could sentence him to up to 5 years in prison. I've been asked to, be at that sentencing and make a statement on behalf of the community. So I just want to let everybody know I'm going to do that.
This is the guy that pedals around on his bicycle selling dope,
Yeah, that's the guy.
right? I remember him.
So, you know, I'll take morning off and ask the judge to keep Mr. Hollings in prison. The next one is Mr. Hicks, who's facing felony charges for, ripping apart our gate arm with his bare hands and saying very bad words to our guard. He has taken another postponement. There'll be another hearing in October. And, there was a new, assistant state attorney assigned to the case. And he was kind of feeling me out how I felt about possibly, acceding to a misdemeanor charge. And I said, absolutely not. And as soon as I got off the phone, I called, the state attorney's office and they're gonna work on that. So just to keep you guys updated, it was supposed to be resolved yesterday, but it wasn't. It'll be in October. All right, last thing. This just came up this week, 2 days ago. The county administration has decided to surplus the empty lot, the back of Yuko, in between Yuko and the library. Yeah, I'd say 3 to 4 acres, Dave. How many acres you think that is, Dave?
Wake up.
Anyway,
That's where the police cars are.
yeah, with police cars, yeah.
Where they hang out.
Anyway, it was on the agenda, the draft, it was on the draft agenda for this month's county commission meeting to surplus that property and put it up for auction. Our commissioner, Mayor Weiss, saw that, it was the first he had heard of it, he had it taken off the agenda. And he wants to have a meeting with the officers committee to, discuss possible uses of that, including the possibility of us owning. Dave and I had a discussion on that, what would we do with it if we had it? My thing is, have it,
You got a park,
you know, it's a land, they're not making any more of it, and it would preclude any other use that might, we might not like. There was discussion at the county of affordable housing. Mayor Weiss definitely said, he would prefer to see some kind of senior housing there. But he wants to talk to us first, so it's off the agenda until he talks to us. As soon as I know when we can have a meeting, I'll let everybody know. And, we're just gonna talk and see what, bat around some ideas. Dave had an idea for a dog park, an exercise, trail. Parking for trailers and campers and whatnot that we're constantly chasing out of the village. This is a brainstorming thing, so everybody should really think about what they think it could be useful. And, if you think you might wanna make a bid to buy it. So that's, you know, this is just a bulletin, I'm just letting you know.
I think we should have that meeting, and I think one of the deciding factors would be, what's the price? Okay, I'm not sure if that's landlocked, I mean,
It's not, but I am sure it is not landlocked.
so
It
the only
access,
way, unless they got entrance to us or something else.
and there are two outlets on the parcel, one to West Drive
Yeah,
and one to the service road of Okeechobee Boulevard.
so it's not land.
It is
No.
not landlocked.
No,
I
And,
think,
and as far as valuation, which I knew you would ask.
Yeah.
The answer is, they don't know. When the county if the county evaluates something by putting it up for auction.
that's
So,
okay,
so,
that's okay.
as soon as Neil gets it all straightened out, we'll get the mayor here and you guys will all sit down and chat.
I look forward to that.
Good.
Because I would be concerned about using that land for a housing project.
Right.
It just adds to the congestion. And, what do we need? We have a problem here with, Coulter. We're just gonna restart it all over again. We don't know. who's gonna build
One of
it.
the things Neil's told
We could have a miniature golf course.
Yeah, one of the things Neil's told me is that several of the commissioners said, we have an acute housing shortage, we need to put workforce housing. And Mayor Weiss said, that's not a good use up against the giant ass, senior community.
exactly.
So he's advocating on our behalf, but as soon as I get everything together, we'll
But
sit
it's
down.
one out of a bunch of guys wearing pants there making decisions.
But it's his district, and he does control the meeting.
But we
He's-
don't
is
want
the
that.
mayor.
We don't want that.
Don't
We
want
don't
it.
wanna make the mistake we made, not buying the golf course and the property. I think we'll sit down and discuss it.
No,
I think it's a good idea for us to own it. I don't wanna see low house income. I don't wanna see a bunch of people, you can't get in and out. I mean,
Absolutely.
All they're doing is building buildings. When they get to the
Restaurant,
golf course, they're not gonna be able to go. Like, you know.
Donald,
one at a time, guys.
when it goes up for auction, don't they have like a strike price? They don't say $1.
I don't
Well,
really.
that's- No, we don't know.
I don't really have that information, Ed. I know that there is talk in the commission of putting restrictions on the sale, that it can only be for certain uses and not for other uses. And that's being batted around as we speak.
But as we all know, nothing is in perpetuity.
There we go. So anyway, I'm, just putting it out there. I wanna let you know this way. Yeah, absolutely. Earns only. All right,
Can we move on?
yeah, that's all.
Donald,
Yes, sir.
Donald, unless they intend to give it to us, they have to come up with a number. I
agree.
understand this auction thing, but they have to come up with a number. What do they want from us?
Let's, I think Niels is pretty busy with this right now. and he just made a point to tell me as soon as he found out about it. I think there'll be more information when the meeting happens.
I mean, I can't imagine having workforce housing over there, you know, separated from Wellington by a chain link fence.
That was Mayor Weiss's thought as well.
Yeah,
We have somebody in our corner, so let's wait until the meeting and everybody think about it in the meantime.
and workforce housing is going to mean putting in a real vehicular egress and access.
Yeah,
I have to open up to Okeechobee Boulevard. I mean, you're gonna have a traffic nightmare there.
not to mention, we have another project getting ready to be built across the street at the police league property.
Across from the firehouse.
Yeah.
We've been hearing about this for how many years?
Taking place, it's taking
It's
place.
happening, you know, they're in the planning stages. All right, one more thing, guys, because I just thought of it. I just want to let everybody know that it appears that the swimming pool at the medical building is about to get started. They're about to, I went over and met with the WGI engineer today. He was marking trees to be removed to create a path for the machines. The indications are, and I spoke to the owner as well. The indications are this is gonna happen fairly soon, maybe from the beginning of the season. So just, you know, I'm sure you're gonna hear it from others, so I'd like you
Is
to know.
this a real swimming pool or is this a medical therapy spa?
I got a recreational swimming pool. That's on every document I've seen so far, Dave.
Jesus, all right.
But I figured everybody should know, this way you're not blindsided when somebody comes up to you. holler. That's all I got, guys.
All right, thank you, Dan.
That's enough.
Donald, all right, we'll do it officers reports. Patricia, ladies first.
No, we talked enough about all these things, and we'll talk again when we have the meeting, so I don't get anything extra, it's not in this room, okay, iPad.
All right, Stuart,
The only thing I have to say is that wherever you travel, go up and down Southern Boulevard and other places. They are leveling the ground and they have the signs of housing projects being put up all over. And I don't know how it will impact the value of the properties that we have here, whether it'll go up or down or whatever. But it's something that we have to concern ourselves with.
Frankly, effect to me personally, Stu, effect on property value is secondary to the quality of life.
That's how I feel.
That's the real primary thing.
Well, the quality of life, there's nothing you can do if they keep on coming down. They're running away from the so-called cities in Chicago and New York and LA and so on. They're going to Texas and Tennessee and Florida and so on. Anyway, that is a concern. At my age, I'm not worried about it anymore. And young guys like you, I guess, will have to be, yeah, but that's it.
that was Lil Zing, you young guys.
Everything's in proportion.
He calls me kid, I think it's terrible.
Yeah,
Exactly, I'm more.
That's it, Stuart?
yeah, that's
All right.
always my wine last.
Joanne, you're up next.
My only comment is that I continue to get involved with the TV stations and I have met with Dimitri and he's helping me to just, get more familiar with the software. There's some new things that we can discuss as far as utilizing those TV stations for more interesting things. And, I'm just doing my best. I talked to Ken Graff today and he's gonna help me with some of the, get more current events, current things. I just want to really dump everything that's in there. But I want to be sure that I'm replacing it with things that are relevant and entertaining. And so far we've had a good, reception with the movies that we put on the weekends. We can continue doing that. There's all kinds of different things. So we're just trying to get some eyeballs on the TVs. So once we get into season, we'll have more and more people watching the TVs and make them more relevant to what's going on every day in the village. So anybody that has any kind of suggestions, I'm welcome. I welcome any use of these stations that anyone wants me to look into. That's what I mean.
I don't know if this is exactly related to what you're saying. I get a very garbled audio stream, so it's hard for me to pick up everything. I would point out that we have a number of game cameras secreted all over the campus. And it's always been a kind of irritating to me that David Velasquez every week has to go and pull those chips and look at them offline. So of course you lose the real-time capability. Now I understand these cameras have an internet capability that's much more expensive, but I think we should look at slowly phasing out the current inventory and having these things interrogatable by across the internet. All right.
Good budget item.
Okay, good. Anything else, David?
No, David continues to recover, and I hope to return soon.
Good, all right. David Boaz, you're up.
Thank you, and nothing exciting to report.
Sorry to hear that.
Me too.
Okay, Miss Ruth,
Yes.
Eco Reporter.
Yes, indeed. The UCO reporter will be out to you on Saturday or Sunday, whichever day you get your papers. It's a very nice issue. Hope you like it. I have a profit and loss report for you through through July, which is 7 months. We made $6,600 or $944 a month average.
After expenses.
And that's it. Thank you.
I got it online, Ruth. It looks very nice.
Oh, I'm glad you like it. It is nice. It came out very nicely.
Then our red ink is $75.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to, yeah, let me.
And I would gladly accept suggestions from you on my next article.
I knew you were gonna ask. I'm working on it. We're behind $75, but I pulled the ad for September. They are not in. Their credit card is not accepted. And so we no longer are in the red $20,000. The most we will ever be is 75. And not even that. Okay.
Thank you, Miss Ruth. Hey, you're up.
It's 3 packs of cigarettes over there.
Very briefly, what's on the immediate agenda is the September meeting. We'll have to prepare and finish the proposed budget in order to give it to the officers in October. And unfortunately, we're gonna face, I think, some of the things that we faced many times before, and I think one, of course, is the insurance, the other is taxes. But interestingly enough, and I'm sure Mr. Israel remembers, I come across a report from Mr. Tennyson, who said that it's absolutely not a must to have the budget approved in October. And that the main thing is to prepare it, whether to go farther over. I'm not saying we should do it, but I think as we look back recently, we were off no matter how we tried on the increase in insurance. And we know because they say they don't know. All I could say is we'll do our best. And I do think that Donald getting a report of some sort before the September meeting would be important for the proposed budget. Because the contribution to the reserves could be too big or too small. But we're shooting in the dark. We did reduce it several, a fair amount last year. However, just before your disbursement of 750,000, we were well over 11 million. So, basis some other items that have to be cleared up. The first biggest number that we pay is cable. And if I'm not mistaken, we had a meeting a while back about the ability to renegotiate. And we're talking probably 4 million. Because we're over 3.5 now. And that's an important item. Because you could talk nickels and dimes, you could talk thousands, but that particular line item is, beyond a doubt, it means twice what any other item on our budget is. And I think it's important in this economy, because I think I mentioned this before, researching it, and Mr. Ingram knows, that all you have to do, and not really, is provide television. Now, the people today, our younger people, starting at the age 12, use their phone for just about everything. And my daughter showed me, I see terrific pictures on my phone for nothing. You just go on. Every news channel is on the phone. So you're talking in an era of increased costs that I find in my limited experience now that I do the shopping, it's out of sight.
It's somewhat of a contradiction of using your phone to look at movies when every television manufacturer is increasing the size of the TV sets with all the other stuff they're putting in.
Of course, we're not an individual. We're not an individual. We're an association. What we provide, supposing you have X amount of people say, I only watch 5 channels. I only watch 6 channels. In fact, in the last discussion I had with our gentleman who hands it, said, you know, the new contracts have a lot less channels. Who says you have to have 305 channels?
Well, that was a presentation they made to us when they brought us their original contract. In other words, what did they do to sweeten the pot? They sweetened the pot by saying, we're gonna give you this, and this, and everybody sitting around and everybody sitting in the auditorium wanted channels that they could choose from. We wanted to provide them the best deal for what we were working on. And I want to give people more than they even want to use.
But their last presentation was not to cut. They wanted to raise us to $55 and bundle a service. They don't want to, their renegotiation is to go up in price, not down in price.
Everybody has their own focus. If you break it down, it's almost $40 a month now, right, to the individual unit, it's $7.40. If that was refunded to me, I could pick whatever I want.
I'm fine where I am. A lot of people feel the way I do. I have internet and I have the telephone and I have the recorder. And I like it. And there are a lot of people throughout the village who do like to record. I'm active, I'm out a lot, so I like to come back and look at the news, you know.
All I can say is.
Do we have anything else on your treasurer's report?
Well, I think that's enough to start and finish with at this point. Other than the fact that we'll reiterate that an email will be going out for anybody to comment, recommend what they feel they need for whatever their function is. And that will use, as we did in the past, to formulate the budget as presented. And again, I think this is the second year that it's a line item approval. So we are going to do our best to satisfy the needs of everybody,
Okay,
All right.
which it never could do.
that's good.
So, at this point, we need to go into executive session, so it's officers only. Thank you very much for coming.
See you tomorrow.
Officers, please stay seated. Everybody,
I thought Bobby had an issue.
she did, it's taken care of.
May I go get a coat?
That's
Oh,
it.
okay.
I give you 5 minutes.
Is anybody else okay?
Sit down.
No, no.
And the beautification line will remain the
Are you
same.
gonna
Oh,
stop
as
recording?
before. Okay.
Wanna stop recording?
Yes, but I'm sorry, I said we're taking a 5 minute break. I apologize.